The Chinese military surrounded Taiwan. China has encircled the island with warships and fighter jets. Is this China's last rehearsal before the final act? Are we inching closer to the dreaded Taiwan war, or is there a hidden meaning in these war games? Is the blockade of Taiwan meant to deter the United States? Let's start off with what we know so far. China has carried out mock airstrikes, mock sea strikes. This has mostly been around Taiwan's Kinmen and Matsu Islands. Let's pull out a map for you and show you where these islands exactly are. China has sent heavily armed warplanes in the skies near Taiwan. The drills began this morning at 7:45 a.m. local time. It's meant to go on for 2 days. China is calling this drill a punishment. For whom, you ask? Taiwan, obviously. But what for? Separatist acts, says Beijing. You see, in Taiwan, President Lai Ching-te has just been inaugurated. In his inauguration speech on Monday, Lai called on China to stop threatening Taiwan, and Beijing clearly did not take that well. The drills, you see, are a response. China says the drills are, quote-unquote, fully justified and necessary. But are they really? The Chinese state broadcaster is celebrating the drills as a, quote-unquote, powerful disciplinary action. You don't need me to tell you that this is a clear provocation. What you have here is China flexing its muscle. The dragon is trying to show Taiwan what it is actually capable of, how it can cut off Taiwan from the rest of the world, seize control of its airspace, the surrounding waters, block Taiwan's business, even its energy imports. In fact, the state broadcaster CCTV in its coverage said the drills were partly aimed at rehearsing an economic blockade of the island. Taiwan, as you know, is the world's leading semiconductor supplier. How has Taiwan reacted? Taiwan's new leader, Lai Ching-te, has said that he will do what it takes to defend Taiwan.
I will stand on the front line with all the brothers and sisters from the National Army to defend the national peace together.
This is Kinmen. This Taiwanese island is a stone throw away from China. Like you can see on your screen, one can literally see the Chinese skyline from Kinmen. During the second Taiwan Strait conflict, Kinmen was among the worst hit, by the way. On the 23rd of August, 1958, Chinese troops attacked Kinmen. There was heavy artillery shelling for 44 days. Taiwan says it lost 439 soldiers, 80 civilians, which also explains the anti-landing spikes on the beaches of Kinmen. But today, as the Chinese military rehearses the blockade of Taiwan, the people in Kinmen are calm. And why do you think that is? Is it their confidence in Taiwanese defense, or is there more?
It might be just a threat. They have been talking about it for 20-30 years. If a war is bound to happen, if they plan to attack, they would have struck 20-30 years ago.
And what do you make of such sentiment? Does China really not plan to attack Taiwan? Of course, there are these drills. Chinese President Xi Jinping has time and again said that China will be reunified with Taiwan. In 2019, he also went a step ahead and said that Beijing will use force if necessary. What if this is all meant to blockade the US from Taiwan and not Taiwan? What if attacking Taiwan was never part of Xi Jinping's plan? In December 2023, the Chinese President Xi Jinping and US President Joe Biden met at San Francisco. Do you know what Xi Jinping told Biden? That China would prefer taking Taiwan peacefully, not by force. Xi Jinping also said that American analysts were wrong in predicting that China would wage a war on Taiwan by 2025 or 2027. The Chinese president simply said that Beijing has set no such timeline. Beijing views Taiwan as a part of China. You know, one country, two systems. Even the United Nations does not recognize Taiwan as a separate country. Same with the United States. Washington switched its diplomatic recognition from Taiwan to China in 1979. Back to the question. Does China really want to wage a war against Taiwan? Experts believe Xi Jinping does not want to risk being seen as a leader waging a war against his own people. Number two, a war against Taiwan will be devastating for the island's business. Like we told you, Taiwan is a semiconductor exporter. China, of all the countries, understands the importance of semiconductors. After all, Beijing is betting big on technology. So what really are these drills all about? Are they meant to blockade American presence in the waters around Taiwan? Do you know when was the last time China announced such a drill? It was last August, right after Lai, who was then the vice president, stopped over in the US on his way to Paraguay. The US is Taiwan's most important ally, by the way. It is also Taiwan's supplier of military hardware. Time and again, the US President Joe Biden has vowed to defend Taiwan should China invade the island. The US, as you already know, is not China's best friend. Last year in April, China was once again seen practicing the blockade of Taiwan. It was right after Taiwan's then president, Tsai Ing-wen, met then US House Speaker Kevin McCarthy in California. And back to the question, are these drills meant to blockade the US? The latest comment of the Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson only adds weight to this theory.
We urge the United States to stop condoning and supporting the forces for Taiwan independence and interfering in China's internal affairs. Any act that jeopardizes China's national sovereignty and territorial integrity will be met with a resolute and forceful response from the Chinese side.
To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.